Hello everyone, Yevgeny here with the Inktwell, and today we're going to bring in a little zen as we look at my Nakaya Piccolo Cigar in Heki-tamenuri. This Nakaya was purchased from nibs.com for a full retail price of $650 and was tuned by Jessica, and with the pen inside the box came the tuning card, the instructions, a brochure for the Ohio Pen Show, and my invoice. Moving past the outer box, we have the inner wooden box, which has a descriptor of the pen, as well as the pen guard inside. Or at least that's what I kept getting off of Translate. I may be wrong, someone please correct me in the comments. Inside, we have the lovely Nakaya kimono and the ink cartridges that come with every Nakaya pen. As you can see, the kimono is a beautiful blue with gold speckle on a lovely red velvet bed. Inside the kimono, we have the Piccolo Cigar in Heki-tamenuri. I'm a sucker for a dark brown with a green finish, I always have been. Uncapping the pen, you can see the standard Nakaya nib with beautiful craftsmanship on the threading and the body. Now, this is a pocket pen. You can see here, it's not a long pen. In fact, the cap is almost as long as the remainder of the body itself. For me, that is a selling feature of this pen. I purchased it because I wanted a Nakaya that was low profile. I had a decoupage twist, and I found that pen to be a little long for my writing style and for my tastes, whereas the Piccolo Cigar really does fit my hand much better. Now, moving along into the components of the pen, we have the Platinum PTL 500 converter, which comes with every Nakaya, the 14 karat gold double broad nib, and the body of the pen itself. Even though it's a very lightweight pen, you can see that they use a very robust mechanism for filling. Whether you're using the included cartridges or you're using the converter, moving to the nib, you can see the craftsmanship and quality that goes into this gold nib. Now, you can purchase a Nakaya nib in gold, rose gold, two-tone, rhodium, or ruthenium, and each one will be tuned to your writing specifications at time of purchase. As you can see, the nib is stamped with the Nakaya logo, and you'll find these nibs are very reminiscent of platinum nibs, in that they can either be extremely dry or very wet, just depending on how you have them tuned. In this case, we look at the writing sample from this pen. As you can see, we're using the Piccolo Cigar with J. Herbon Emerald of Chivor, and we're doing this writing sample on Tomoe River paper. As you can tell, this pen writes like a fire hose, to be honest. I had it tuned wet for a heavy hand. And you can see on the writing sample here where I'm getting very thick, very wet deposits of ink. And that's how I like my pens to be. So much so that I can even write upside down with this pen, as you can see here, and I have no trouble whatsoever. Admittedly though, my decoupage twist was a dry writer, so results may vary depending on how you have it tuned. Now let's look at size. Here, we're comparing it to the Pilot Metropolitan, pretty much an everyday pen. As you can see, the Piccolo is about a 1/4 inch shorter than the Metropolitan, but through the entire length of the pen, it does tend to be a little bit thicker around the pen itself. This makes for a pen that is both comfortable in the hand and comfortable in the pocket. Now with the pens uncapped, you can see that the Piccolo has a much shorter grip section, but with how the threads are done on this pen, you can grip reaching onto the threads and still have a very smooth writing experience without experiencing any of the hand fatigue that comes from a pen with obtrusive threads. So there you have my brief review of the Nakaya Piccolo Cigar in Heki-tamenuri. In the short while that I've owned this pen, It has already become a daily writer for me, even with the double broad nib. I can always flip it upside down and have a medium nib to write with. In fact, many of my pen pals from the Pen Addict Slack have probably noticed that their letter has been written with this pen, and at a price point that puts it on par with many higher-end Pelicans and Viscontis. I find myself more attracted to the simplicity and yet undeniably high craftsmanship of the Nakaya Piccolo series. This pen was by far the best addition to my collection of 2018, and I thank those who helped make it possible for this pen to become part of my collection. Now you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at the Inktwell or theinktwell.com. I would also like to thank our ongoing channel sponsor, Pen Chalet, for being an amazing sponsor of the Inktwell. If you want to, head on over to penchalet.com, click on the radio podcast link at the top of the page, and enter an Inktwell for your site-wide coupon. Till next time, thank you for watching.